Good morning. A little early today, what can I tell you? Jimmy Carter's funeral was yesterday, and of course, Trump was there. And I read a lot about, well, this person dissed Trump, or this person embarrassed Trump, and I don't know if that's entirely true. I think people were just grabbing for headlines where that was concerned. I think, as far as I could tell from actual videos that I was able to see, Trump was fairly respectful. Going out, coming in, that's a different story. But inside, he was fairly respectful. He was talking to Obama, and things just went on like that. Jimmy Carter was a victim of circumstances. A game that Reagan and the Republicans played with the hostages could have possibly been responsible for him not getting elected. They don't like to talk about that, but that's quite possible. I think he had more to do with the hostages release than he was ever given credit for, but Reagan took all the credit at the inauguration. The fires in California are really horrible. Too many people in areas that they shouldn't be in, and every building adds to the impact of the wind and everything. They'll probably and more than likely find out that these fires were started by somebody. That's what happened the last time, and when Trump was first elected in office. And of course, Trump's going around and blaming everybody but nature, and people. Shit happens, man. It's not the governor's fault. It's not it's one of these things that happens every so often, and you have to be ready for it. And maybe they weren't fully ready for it, but it's difficult to maintain a readiness for that because it's very, very expensive to stay ready for that. They have other issues. Water's a problem on the West Coast. It's going to be a big problem after these fires. All right? You don't have anything retaining it. So if they do get rain, there's going to be some erosion and flooding and some other problems. But for Trump to seriously sit around and blame the Governor Newsom and whatnot, and Bass is the lieutenant governor, if I'm not mistaken, to go around and blame them like that is just stupid. It doesn't serve any purpose. It's a distraction, okay? That's a distraction. So is his, I'm going to invade Denmark, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. First of all, he's going to, the biggest problem he's going to have, and this is going with the immigration and everything, the use of federal troops, all right? He thinks that federal troops are just going to blindly obey him. Troops have the right to refuse what they believe is an unlawful order. Okay? You're going to force these guys to make decisions that they shouldn't have to make. All right? If you go in a normal combat situation, they don't have to make decisions. Is this a right war or a wrong war or anything like that? Well, you go into invade a country that's not being aggressive towards you. You're making them choose sides. Is this a really good? Is this a good deal or is this a bad deal? When you ask troops to go in and march against immigrants, you're going to have to choose them selectively. Because I'm not sure every guy, you have a lot of Latin people, Latinos in the military, you have a lot of other nationalities in the Army and Navy, and you have American Indians in there. I'm not so sure how that's going to work out for him. I'd be very careful about that because that's something that you've never seen before in a dictatorship or something like that. Which he's trying to pull together is all these different nationalities, and that he's going to go after. And he has a problem because they're in the military. Okay? You get Ukraine and Russia. You have Ukrainians and Russians. Okay? You don't have Ukrainians and Japanese Americans, Irish Americans, Ukrainian Americans. You don't have all that. Okay? You get a straight up and down, I don't like you. And that's pretty easy to deal with. I'm not so sure how that's going to work out if the military's called in certain instances, you know, and what they're called in to do. You know, that's the other side of the coin. You know, what are they called in to do? All right, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. He's what does he do lately? Trump has also said that he's going to release a report, an in-depth report on the mysterious drone activity in the New Jersey East Coast area after he's sworn in. Well, don't know why. You know, unless he's got something to do with it, he's going to turn around and tell him that was a test of my new security procedures to monitor the migration of individuals. You know, who knows? You know, but if it turns out to be something wacky like that, hey man, go load the goose guns. Let's knock them out of the air. You know. YouTube. There's a lot of garbage on YouTube right now in terms of stuff like I'm doing. I'm not an editor. I'm just expressing opinions. I have, you know, my opinions come out of the news and everything else, and then I, you know, look at it and I base some of it on my own experiences, and then I formulate an opinion. Some of the stuff I'm reading is just, you know, not that good. I read one this morning. I don't know if I can still have it up here. No, it's not here. This guy was really good at it. I forgot his name. I don't know if I can find him again. But anyhow, he was talking about Trump's reaction to the fires and everything. And he lives in, and this guy happened to live in the hills, slightly above the fire, and he was, you know, went to bed last night worried he was going to have a house in the morning. He was good in that story. I don't always think these guys are telling it like it is, but this was like it is, and he was good about it, you know. And he's right. For Trump to sit there and blame the governor, which he did the last time, he blamed. If you remember, I think some of the things he made statements about going back to the last fire that they had. And this is a Democratic governor. If it was a Republican governor, he wouldn't be doing this. Trust me. But he went back and he told them back then that 4 years ago that they didn't clean the forest floor. They should have gone in and gotten rid of all the debris on the forest floor. You want to try doing that? They'd still be doing it, and they wouldn't have had maybe half of it done by now. Okay? This is the stupidity of Donald Trump. Now, Trump was convicted yet. He was sentenced today to basically nothing. But he's going to go entering in the office as he has a title of convicted felon. All right? There's a whole lot of things he's not supposed to be entitled to. And that's not going to happen. You know, this isn't just money. This is politics. The fact that the Supreme Court went from being an independent judicial system that was designed to interpret the Constitution, involving major arguments between lawyers and what have you, it's turned into a political machine. It's a political tool now. It's you know, and I'm not saying it wouldn't be that way if the Democrats had it or not. I don't know. You know, you don't know when people get all that power what they're going to do. But it is, and it's run by some people that shouldn't be there. Alito is an elitist who goes around and breaks the law and doesn't think anything about it. And that's a man that should be put in prison to the day he dies. You know, that's just my opinion of him. You know, so. But again, you know, that's that. I love YouTube, I really do. But like I said, you know I'm wandering around, but you know, I just saw this clip, so I had to say something. I love YouTube because it's like, to me, it's like reading political satire like Mad Magazine, or it's actually sometimes it's like reading Rolling Stone magazine. You get a different point of view. But right now, some people are trying to make, these people are in it for money. Occupy Democrats, Forbes, all these people are in it to make money. You know, a lot of these people are. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them aren't. Some of them report the way it is. But I think they all should say, in my opinion, when they go after somebody or something. In my opinion, you know. In my opinion, Trump's a scumbag. Always will be. Deserves to be in jail. Should have been charged with treason. If everything I've read is relatively true. Oh, Lucy, where'd you go? Lucy. She's out visiting. We have company. My sister-in-law is here, so I guess that's what she's doing. But anyhow, here she comes. Hey, girl. How are you? Good to see you, sweetie. Good to see you. You can't see her because of my microphones. You know, I put here you go. I put an arm up for my microphone instead of having it sit on my desk. Gives me at least 10 inches more desk space than I had, you know, when I started that project yesterday. I don't know what's going to happen with the country. I'm 79 years. I'm going to be 79 next Thursday, and I sit around and I say to myself, you know, you worked hard, you did everything right. You're a little shaky at times, but I mean, you basically did everything right. You tried to be a relatively good person. I don't think I am, but I tried. And you have these things happening now. You know, I might lose my income, and I'm 7,000 miles from my next nearest relative that lives out of the country I'm in. And what good does it do me to go home to America? Because it's just going to be worse there, because it's 10 times more expensive than it is where I am. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've always said I said something back in 2016. Don't ever put me in the same room with Donald Trump. Because he'd give that little snide smile and I'd try to throw a chair at his head. I just can't stomach that man. He's a disgusting individual. That's not an opinion, that's a statement. You know? But anyhow, I still think that instead of Kamala, I'm losing my mind here, but Obama's wife should have run for president. You know, he should have at least tried to appoint her to a Supreme Court justice, you know, or some position with a little bit of authority in it. But oh well, you know, that's gone. I have no idea what's going to happen. People are trying to say this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But let's take it in the order of importance. First things first right now, let's get out there and get help to the people in California. My brother used to live there, my nieces used to live there. My brother lived there because he wanted to live there. My nieces lived there because he wanted my nieces to get a good education. My nieces don't live there anymore because one has passed away, and the job is what keeps them from California. They go wherever the company send them. But that's the first thing we need to do. We need to take care of the state of California, because it's going to happen in other places if climate change continues. And as soon as that's done, we have to concentrate on controlling the orange-haired monster in the White House. There's not a whole lot we can do about it, but let's see if we can prevent him from having us go to war. And you need to watch him very, very closely, because whatever he's got planned, he's using Greenland, Canada, Mexico. He's using all these countries as the Panama Canal. He's using these countries as these issues as a watch my hand while I pick your pocket type deal. Okay, so people should keep an eye on him, really, really good, especially near the Treasury. And you got to watch out for Musk, who's sitting in the dark, sits in a room and just thinks evil thoughts all the time. Okay. That's it for me today. Do me a favor, please, huh? I have to write this down before I forget. Okay. Hit my like button and the subscribe button at the end of this video. I'll try to be a little bit more opinionated and on other subjects besides the fat orange hair guy. And I'll keep you abreast of whatever I can learn, which isn't much. I'll give you, that because of where I live. But, and I'm having difficulty using the internet. The search engines are being a little screwy. I may have to get very inventive. But we'll see. Anyhow, have a good day. Hit my subscribe button, and we'll talk the playoffs tomorrow. We have college game tonight. Ohio State versus Texas. I'm going with Ohio State. Anyhow, talk to you later.